Hello there and welcome to Vermin Hunters TV with me, Si Pitway. Today on the show, me and Davy is going to show you the results of a field test we've been doing on the new .20 caliber Sandwell Field Sports Jack Snipe, this rifle here. Now the Jack Snipe itself is the smaller brother of the Snipe, and for those who's watched the reviews on the channel probably 2.5 to 3 years ago now, the Snipe is a .25 caliber. The Jack Snipe is a .20 caliber. Enjoy. Right, before you go out and review any gun, it's always good to put a decent scope on and make sure the scope's levelled off. So what I've done here is I've got an Orca Max, which is one of my favourite scopes, and I'm using the Wheeler Engineering level system. And you can see what you do with this is you can put the magnetic bubble on there. Once it's level, you can put then the barrel mount on, and it's got the fine adjustment. And then once you've done that, you can then move the magnetic level back to the top of your scope. This is just an extra bubble I've always had, and I've also got a bubble here, as you can see, on my scope. So what that's saying is now, because the block here is level, the barrel's level, and the scope's now level, everything is in line. So once I zero, as long as there's no wind, the pellet should travel straight down the crosshair. So if I give hold over, it shouldn't fall left and right. I'll just give you a free-handed view so you can see the barrel's level with the block or the breech, the scope's level, and also I've got a level on the side. So that scope is now levelled off with the actual Jack Snipe itself. So let's take a quick look at the rifle itself. The Sandwell Field Sports Jack Snipe is based on the Virite HW99S, which in its own right is a very good rifle before it's tuned itself. You'll see on the breech block engraved Jack Snipe, and if I turn the rifle this way, you'll see it's got the Sandwell Field Sports sticker, which is put on all rifles what Tony tunes. So the internals of this rifle have been Sandwell Field Sports tuned, as well as the trigger unit. You'll see on top, as I've already said, I fitted the Orca Max, and you saw me levelling that off earlier on in the field review. You'll notice on this rifle it's got a different silencer to what you normally see on the Imps and the Snipes. So this is an experimental silencer what Tony's asked me to try. If you do want this experimental silencer on your Jack Snipe, it comes at a cost of an extra £39. If you don't want it, it'll just come with the standard HW silencer, which everyone knows in its own right is an absolute fantastic silencer. So while we're talking about prices then, the standard Jack Snipe with the standard HW mod, not this one, is £395, and if you want your Jack Snipe with this silencer on, it comes at £434 from Sandwell Field Sports itself. So at this part of the review then, we're going to do in the chronoing of the rifle, and to do that I've got my Coldwell Precise chronograph, which I highly rate, and I'm going to be weighing some pellets, getting the average weight, then putting 10 shots through this chronograph. Now, as I said before on other episodes, having consistency at the muzzle doesn't always guarantee accuracy at range, and when you've got a pellet brand what are not consistent at the muzzle, it doesn't always guarantee that they're going to be inaccurate at range. Sometimes they can be quite inconsistent at the muzzle but accurate at range. I don't know how that works out, but it's just from trial and error. Myself and Davy have found that. So it'll be interesting to see how these pellets do at the muzzle. So the H&M Field Target Trophy says on the tin the average weight is 11.42 grain. I've just weighed them and I've made an average of 11.6 grains. So for accuracy I'm going to use 11.6 in the data. Okay, these are H&N Field Target Trophy. Error, so I'll shoot that again. That's 9 now, good ones. And 10. So I believe they was all in the 6-4 something, so that's very consistent. That's 10 shots and 1 error. Obviously the error we won't count. What we'll do now then is we'll add all the feet per second up, divide them by 10 to give us an average feet per second, then we'll convert that to foot-pounds. So I'm in one of my rooms now, what I used to do video editing and also store my rifles in their gun cabinets. And I've got the results of the H&N Field Target Trophy chronographing. And as I said, I weighed the pellets and there was 11.6 grain. So you saw I took 11 shots, but we're only going to count 10 because one of them, as you saw, was an error. So taking the 10 good shots, we got an average of 646.6 feet per second. Now if you change that and convert it to foot-pounds, that's 10.77 foot-pounds or 10.8 foot-pounds rounded up, which is absolutely spot on and exactly where I asked Tony to tune my rifles to. Because I find that around about that power, from sort of like 10.7 up to the early 11s, you get pretty low recoil, which aids you being accurate with a rifle. And obviously if you're accurate with a rifle, it usually pays off downrange as long as you've got the right pellet to match the barrel. Now the highest reading we got was 650 feet per second and the lowest was 644. So taking one from the other, that gives us a staggering total spread of only 6 feet per second over 10 shots. Now for a spring rifle, and in my eyes I don't think this one's fully bedded in as good as it should be. I probably need to put a few more shots through it, so it's probably going to get better. So that is phenomenal and really great work, Tony, and it just goes to show, you know, the hard work you put in, it actually shows in the rifle and the chronographing. Now I did say earlier on that having consistency at the muzzle doesn't always guarantee accuracy, and that's true, but hopefully in this case it does. And if we get results at range like we're getting at the muzzle, this rifle's got absolutely phenomenal potential, and I can imagine it's going to be really, really accurate. But I'll hold my judgment until we get on the range and we'll see what sort of group it's producing at a distance. Right, what I'm going to do now is measure the scope height, and it's for later on when I put the calibration data into Chairgun to give me my aim points. And to do that, what I've done is I've turned the magnification down to the lowest setting on this scope, which is 4, and then I've put some tin foil over the end of the objective lens and put a tiny hole in it. That helps me then reduce parallax and get a really sharp picture, or sharp as I can possibly get at close range. You'll notice here on my catch box I've got a piece of paper with a cross on, and what I'm going to do is put the end of the silencer as close to the paper, ideally touching it as possible, and look through the scope and get the crosshairs aligned with the crosshair on the paper. With a pellet in then, I'll pull the trigger and it'll allow, obviously the pellet will go through the paper into the catch box, and it'll allow me then to measure from the crosshair down to where the pellet impacts, and that'll give me my exact scope height. So I'm going to do that now. So just touching. Be able to see now, but I'll just zoom in. So you saw me take the shot with my silencer muzzle touching on the paper, and I could see the crosshair due to having a tiny pinhole with the foil, and I matched my crosshair in the scope with the crosshair on the paper, and you'll see where the pellet's impacted. So now all I need to do is measure from the crosshair, from the cross to where the impact is. So using my ruler, I've measured down, and it's 4.7 centimeters, or if you're using millimeters, 47 millimeters, and that is from crosshair to center of the actual barrel itself. So I've just got back from Sandwell Field Target Club, and I've been doing some pellet testing with the Sandwell Field Sports Jack Snipe. Now the two brands I had were the H&M Field Target Trophy, what you saw me chronograph, and the Virac FT Exacts. Now after probably between 20 and 30 minutes of pellet testing using the H&N, I didn't think they was as accurate as I was hoping, so I turned to try the Virac FT Exacts, and they was absolutely spot on at 55 yards. So I used them and done all sorts of testing, and you'll see a bit later on how good these pellets are in this rifle. So this is the data now in Chairgun. I weighed them, the Viracs, at 13.9. This is the ballistic coefficient I worked out for them pellets. This is obviously what the chronograph says it's doing, and it's 10.3 foot-pounds. Using a 15mm kill zone between these two distances here, or two lines here I should say, which is 15mm. It's saying that my optimum zero range is 23 meters. Scope height there was 4.7 centimeters or 47 millimeters. I'm using times 10, and you can see it's 10.3 foot-pound. But this probably will rise up slightly because, as I said, the rifle's not fully bedded in yet. So that's really, really nice. Perfect. But yeah, they were so accurate, and it just goes to show, like I say, don't spend too much time worrying about perfect muzzle, basically muzzle consistency, because it doesn't mean nothing really, because as we've just proven, what wasn't as accurate, or I should say consistent at the muzzle, with only a 10 feet per second spread, is more accurate at range than the H&Ns, what had a 6 feet per second spread. So yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd show you this data anyway.
I want a cup of Bernie's making it.
Nice garden. It's nice.
I can't see anything with the sunflowers.
That's pretty, yeah, sunflowers are gorgeous. They get so tall.
Oh, that's
This
brilliant.
one. See this one?
What's
here?
that? Right. Johnny stood up.
Right.
For some time to straw.
Okay.
We're just grateful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're going to leave it at that.
Thank you.
That's a 10-shot group. I know a lot of people like to see larger groups because they say that 3 is not enough, but for a spring rifle, 10 shots.
10 shot.
That'll be, I reckon that'll be covered by 5 feet quite easily.
Hello, babes.
So here's the pellets then, and there's the group. So that's 10 shots in a very intermittent breeze, so I'm really pleased with that. See the size of the 5p is bigger than the group. This is me testing the Virite FT Exact, and you can see the wind is still there, but it's died down a little bit. But this is probably the only 3 shots I managed to film where the wind was that low, and it allowed me to get 3 shots basically on top of each other. After that, the wind got up and the other shots were spoilt. There you go. It's 55 yards. And again, it's 2 on the trot, but I'm having to give that about a mil dot and a half right hand side. Three out of 3, 55 for the Jack Snipe.
Well done, Bubs.
Group's looking good.
Yeah.
I'm just doing some targets now.
Do you want to keep it all cookie?
Do you want to be... He's 22's in the army, he'll sit on anything, he's fine, honest. Do you need a...
Oh yeah, cheers.
Oh,
Thank you.
You want a bit of comfort?
It raises me up a little bit.
Yeah.
you're such a midget, aren't you? Get up there, lad.
I'll be used to them up here now.
That's the problem with being a midget, you see. Can't reach the bench.
Watch it, Gus. You leave the gorilla out of this.
Right, this one needs a bit of wind, I think.
She should start to play with it now.
Yeah, it was so lovely to watch. So lovely.
Straight out.
She's so friendly. She's lovely, yeah.
I needed 3 mil dots on times 10.
Yeah, Bubba?
Yeah, I'm just filming a few targets. Oh, I'm here.
Right, let's see, one to match your other one. I used to be Airstream. Oh, can't stop them bouncing on you. One of the earlier ones. They're full steel, these are. They're heavy beasts, the big dog one. I think a lot of them. Davy Williams, I think. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I think John Powell's. Yeah. Officer on 7 Street.
Bullets.
I go like that. I go like that. You want to see that? H Street. H Street number 12.
Oh yeah. Very great. It's so easy, man. The magazine.
You got a single shot one as well, have you?
Yeah, I haven't tried that, you know.
I found that in the chair, is it? Oh yeah, because up this axle crease. Ah no, it's up this side. This is where you got birds, isn't it?
It's all well engineered.
Yeah.
Something simple.
It's just words.
But it should be, you know.
Little charcoal there. Remember those?
Single shot.
Get it up and running, yeah? Yeah. I know that.
Magazines.
No problem for the Snipe, or Jack Snipe.
Huh? My 10 elbow, so it's got to go.
Or doing that all the time.
Yeah. And with an SR as well. You got the extra little bump at the back, like. Yeah, between where you want the ball, like.
I don't know all these area.
Ah, when you get the extra bump.
It's not far from there. You shot yesterday.
20 miles.
I thought we had keyboards every year. Probably went on in September, don't know.
I'll just guess that one at 2 mil dots. It's probably about 40 yards. I don't know, maybe a little bit closer. I don't know how they can sit on these cushions and shoot with nothing against your back. They don't feel comfortable to me. See how we get on. I got it. See that? There, watch it, it's going to come up. Happy with that.
Yeah, it's a weird position, isn't it?
Not used to it. Yo, over she goes. I didn't go over far. Well, that'll do. Jack Snipe, taking on target. We can take this one standing, supported. I don't think that would be a problem. Right. Yo! That was a good shot, wasn't it?
Bingo!
I gave that 3 mil dots, guesstimated it. There you go, standing unsupported.
In the video, don't get him.
Yeah, so this is for a friend, Peter Muir, who's one of the founding members of the Northern Monkeys. This is one of the targets they've got here at Nelson Field Target Club. There you go, look. This is the Southwest Monkey. The Southwest Monkey for Peter Muir. And get him standing unsupported. Yo! The monkey has fallen to the Jack Snipe.
Hurrah, hurrah.
To be honest, this shoots really nice standing unsupported, because I'm not the world's best standing unsupported shot, but today quite a lot of these I've taken standing unsupported, because sitting on a beanbag with nothing against my back feels really alien, and I think it's better to be standing than to actually sit on a beanbag with nothing behind my back. Normally if I'm shooting static and I am on my bum, I've got a something behind my back which allows me to bring my knees up and push against the backstop. So, but yeah, this shoot's absolutely gorgeous, and it's obviously really well balanced. As you can see, I'm knocking them over. Come around here and go into the field. There's a sheep there, look, target in the field, quite a distance away. So right down there at 55 yards is a target, what they say is one of the hardest on the courses due to a swirling wind. So I'm going to have a go standing unsupported, see if I can get a plate. Oh! You see that?
You got it, well done.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Rabbit down. Didn't have time to laze that one. So here's the Jack Snipe and one of the rabbits. This one is 51 metres. So about 56 yards. Needs 4.5 mil dots. Oh, get in! They don't come much deader than that, do they? Beautiful shot. A long range shot there on his side for the Jack Snipe. Stone that one. Didn't have time to laze it, but I thought it was just over zero, so put the crosshairs level with the top of its head, straight over, look, with the one for the Jack Snipe. Well, 3 shots so far, 3 bunnies for the Jack Snipe. Well pleased. So I'm static at the moment. The last one I've just taken, I said just a bit further than my zero, taken off my knee. And the others was both standing. One was standing supporting, the first one, standing unsupported I should say, the first one. I didn't have time to laze it. And the second one, absolute perler, standing supported, lays 51 metres. Absolute died, stone dead. So yeah, doing well. It's nice to be out shooting again. To track that one, he was at 31, but he saw me, but for some reason run towards me. I think he tried to get in the nettles, but because I've got a kill zone, I think of either 1 centimetre or 1.5 centimetre, it's just a case of putting the crosshairs on him at this range. That's probably around about secondary zero anyway. So obviously just walking over to them rabbits. That's the one there. I tracked in the scope from 31 metres, and if I walk over here, just filming this on my phone. There's the other one. You can see where they're coming out of. If I was to show you this field, even just this bit here, look, you can see all them brown bits are holes, and go over the brow there, it's just littered with rabbits. Same with that hedgerow there. But just kicked him over. Nice shot placement as well. Couple of land underminers there, won't be undermining anymore. Landowner's going to be happy. Another one bites the dust for the Jack Snipe. Well, that one was taking resting on my car, so I'm going to rotate the camera now and we'll go and pick that one up. So there it was, resting off my car. You can probably see him there in centre of the picture. I won't get him. You can see it's last light now. Well, this is the damage, what they do. So this is, look here. Absolutely undermine everywhere. And the landowner had animals in that field there, but that many holes, it got dangerous for the animals. Oh. There. You can see where they've been digging in the where he even has the fire. Where's the one I just shot? Oh, look at that for shot placement. I tell you, this rifle's accurate. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So here's 3. And I've still got some more to pick up. Well folks, it's come to that time in the review now where I want to give my final thoughts before we say goodbye. In the past I've never really dabbled with 2.0 calibre, but I can definitely see now after reviewing this Sandwell Field Sports Jack Snipe why so many people favour the 2.0 calibre. I personally believe that it's a flatter trajectory than the 2.2, but it does produce more kinetic stopping power if you're using it to shoot vermin than a 177 does. The rifle itself is nice, short and compact, and this aids real good accuracy, especially if you're standing unsupported shooting. And as you saw in the review, when I was at Nelson, we've taken them long range targets standing unsupported. Now I don't believe I could have done that with every rifle, but I think the length, the weight and the balance of this rifle really aided me to be able to achieve them long range shots standing unsupported. The silencer really does complement the rifle, and it does tame the muzzle crack. I have been told, I haven't done it, that you can unscrew this silencer, rejig the internals and place it back on, and what it does is it actually shows more of the barrel but extends the rifle a little bit, and because it makes it longer, there's more space within the actual silencer itself. It does make the rifle even more quieter, but I haven't felt the need to actually experiment with that or do that because I like it as it is, carbine and short. I believe if you was using it from a vehicle and you was driving around with a friend, one driving, one shooting, this would be an ideal rifle to do that with, being short and carbine. The trigger, you've got to actually test one of these triggers yourself to see how good they are. Now the Virac trigger, I think it's called a record trigger, is legendary in its own right, but once Sandwell Field Sports have worked their magic on these and done a trigger tune as well as obviously tune the rifle itself, this trigger really does aid towards great accuracy, and as you've witnessed and watched, this rifle is very accurate. So if you are interested, please give Tony a call at Sandwell. I'm sure he'll be very happy to receive your call and to give you any information you want regarding the rifle, prices, delivery and so forth. So hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. It's always nice to receive comments, and look out for future productions from myself and Davy. Thank you and bye.